So Kinley and I are going to go over some tips I have when I go on outings with dogs. This is her very first field trip. I always start out wherever I'm at in the parking lot by the car, just doing some heel. I like to default to heel to really collect the dog's mind because there's not a whole lot of distraction they can have and hold that heel. So it challenges their mind and kind of tells them, hey, don't worry about all that other stuff. You're worried about me. And it also tells me where the dog's head at. If they're super distracted, I'm going to be able to tell, and I can kind of gauge the session on how this heel work's going to go. And just like she did here, she's a little bit nervous. So we worked up to the front of the store. She kind of kept the same demeanor throughout. She got, definitely more confident as we continued working. But I could tell she wasn't super happy being here, but she did give it her best. Now, when I do public outings, I make sure a couple things. So one, make sure it's pet friendly. A lot of stores that people bring dogs in are not pet friendly. Walmart is not pet friendly. That drives me absolutely up the wall because I love dogs, but guess what? I do not want to buy my groceries that dogs have peed on, and I have seen it happen. Service dogs are a different case there. I'm talking about pet dogs. But when I do pet-friendly outings, I am always ready to abandon the session. So if she was not taking food, cowering, and just not enjoying this session at all, like not even trying, I would have just gotten in the car and drove home. So I don't plan this outing to have to happen. It's just as far as we get is as far as we get. So there's no pressure and we can go home whenever. I also don't plan on buying things while I'm doing training sessions. So I'm either at the store purchasing things or doing a training session with a dog. And if I really do need one thing, I may just I have kennels in my car. If the weather's okay, I'll just keep the windows down, put the dog in the kennel, run in for the quick thing, and come back out. Making the dog sit in checkout lines when they're not ready is just going to negatively impact your training session, and it's going to make everyone have a bad time. So I'm always ready to kind of get the dog out of there if I need to, and which actually happened at the end of this session, which I did not record. Of course, when I'm in public, my main goal is safety with the dog, safety with public. Not that Kinley here is any sort of danger to the public, unless you count kisses and slobber. But I try to record what I can, but when we have challenging situations, I'm usually not able to. Which here we're actually having a little bit of a challenging situation with a bunch of big semi-trucks were going in and out here and parking and doing those weird hissy sounds that they do. So this was really challenging for her, and I'm really happy with how she recovered. But the very end of our session at the store, I was taking a picture of her in front of some nice flowers, and a man with a cane came up, and she's very scared of canes. We learned that today. But basically we just did a bunch of obedience: sit, stay, down, stay, heel, going around. People are a huge distraction for her. So here we're actually just sitting here, people watching, chilling out. Some people were stalking some pallets and making some loud noises. So that was a good challenge for her. Here we go back in the store, and you'll notice every time our scenery changes, so the car, the front of the store to now in the store, I'm starting off with healing, like heel work, and then checking it with sits and sit stays and things, just to collect her mind. So nothing new is happening in these sessions. Picking up kibble there. Nothing new is happening in these sessions. We're literally just doing our regular obedience in a new environment. And I like to vest the dogs when I go out for training sessions. You'll see she's wearing it looks very small on her. It says, "I'm learning, do not distract" vest, just because, especially, very approachable dogs like Kinley that are very goofy and cute looking. I try not to have too many conversations with people while I'm training. I don't want to be rude. People are just naturally curious, but the vest usually kind of helps deter them without me having to risk being rude. because again, my sessions are here for the dog's best interest. This is not a advertisement campaign for me to go out and train dogs right now. This is me working a dog. Of course, I am wearing my company shirt because if I'm in public, I am gonna, do a little bit of double dipping here advertising wise. But, I'm not here to schmooze clients. So if the dog's struggling and someone's talking to me about training, I'm going to tell them to give me a phone call. And the same should go if you're training your personal dog in a store. If someone's coming up, oh, hey, I see you're training, blah, 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 blah. Just be like, hey, I'm not trying to be rude. We're working and this is like challenging. You don't have to really, if it's your personal dog and you're not running a business, be rude, go for it. I just wouldn't probably recommend it. But yeah, so my whole focus is just on her, and she is doing absolutely great. I'm really, really happy with how these sessions went. We saw a lot of different people, a lot of new loud noises. We're definitely a little bit scared. I would love to see her have some more confidence, but really, I'm just so happy with how she did this session. And confidence will come as she's, continuing to work her obedience and things. And I think once she starts working it at home as well, this will be a lot different. So here she was really scared of this big fan. So I put her in a free as I was approaching it because I knew she was going to have some issues with the fan. And I just kind of rewarded her near it. That kind of stuff, with low confidence, I want her to go and explore scary stuff. So here, there are some people right next to me in the aisle that are kind of talking to me. So I have her leash ready to correct her if I need to. And you saw she was a little slow on the sit. This is a very challenging situation for her. She loves people. She doesn't want to take the kibble. That's fine. All she has to do is maintain her sit, and I'm here to help her out. So I'm using leash pressure to help her out there. And here we're just doing some healing, working on some heel sits, things like that. Typically I do not hold my leash this bunched up. I know it looks really crazy. I did just get my splint off today, so yay. This is kind of a celebratory free arm outing. However, I still cannot put any pressure on my right arm. It is still barely screwed together, so I'm not trying to go back into a splint. So I do technically still have one arm. I just have now freedom and 2 new Frankenstein scars. So that's really cool and fun for me. So we're just doing some sit stays, down stays, random stuff here. I'm kind of reminding her the auto sit. She's getting tired at this point. This video is us basically exiting the store, and you can really kind of see a difference here from earlier in the video where she was super responsive. You can see she's just tired. And honestly, I can see it on her face. Her eyes are kind of droopy. She's like, can we go home now? And which you do really want to try to avoid getting to this point of tiredness in your sessions like this, but it happens. We all just kind of hit that one more rep part at some point. It happens to everyone, even a dog trainer. A couple tips if you do want to do this with your personal dog: bring a ton of food, more than you think you'll need. Bring backup high value rewards, and double check all of your equipment for functionality and everything before you go.